Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Rolle. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Rolle.
Good morning. As a matter of fact, I may be saying that too loud because it's Happy St. Patrick's Day, or if you were out celebrating last night, Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'll keep it down for as long as I can, which sounds a lot like what I say on date night. I'll keep it down as long as I can. Good morning, brothers and sisters. St. Patrick's Day. Officially, although some people may have been out celebrating late last night, and I can't blame you if you were, because if I were Irish, and I'm glad I'm not, I would have been out with you drinking like a fool, or a fish, or a fishy fool. But welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Rolle, PhD, DDS, ADHD, DST, MCM, LIX. And let us begin, as we always do, in the name of the George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I want to say something right now. I'm feeling really, really good about today, mainly because it's you know what I'm saying? I've been, first of all, I want to thank all of you who sent your concerns about my health. Me finding out recently that I have anemia, and it's kind of funny how that works out because I haven't changed my diet at all that I'm aware of. And it's funny about your diet. You don't know, we don't pay attention to what we're eating all the time until something goes wrong. And that's when we pay attention. And I gotta fix this. It's not OCD this time. This time is just a technical thing. I have to fix this. And if I don't fix it now, I'm going to have to fix it later. And by then, it'd be too late. I should have fixed it already. So I'm going to keep my hand here so you know that I'm still in the picture. There we go. Yeah, I don't like to stop to think. I don't like, if I get into a groove, I don't have to stop to think. Although my grooves don't come as often as they used to because I'm getting a little older. But there we go. Let me fix this because there we go. I like to have everything in reach so I don't have to disappear from the camera too often because most of our staff is off site and not out of mind, no, just out of sight. So let me start with our opening prayer. And if you want to pray along, go ahead. If you know the words, say them out loud. If you don't know the words, fake it, which is what I do a lot of the time. Dear Lord, who made the water, the grains, the wheat, the hops, and the barley, and the green, basically all of the stuff that you need to make the beer that most of your children drink for St. Patty's Day. That's St. Patty's Day, not to be confused with St. Panty's Day on February 14th. St. Patty's Day. Please hear your children as they call your name between the puking and the promises. And some more puking and some more promises. Can I get up? No, I won't do this again. No. Amen. Mm-hmm. And dear God of madness, which is in March, bust the brackets of your enemies and bless the bracket of your favorite servant who tries so hard to spread the ha-has and the tee-hees every Sunday morning at this time. Can I get a Final Four? Yeah. You know what I just noticed? I'm not wearing my collar, and my beard is so white, it looks like I'm wearing my collar. That's a damn shame. I'm gonna tell you right now. I need to take care about it. I need to go see the patron saint of Grecian with the formula. That's what I need. Lord have mercy. If you'll forgive me, I hate showing up half naked, either completely naked or not naked at all. But half naked, can't take it if I'm half naked. I think that's a poem somewhere. Can't take it if I'm half naked. It's probably a country song too. Can't take it if I'm half naked. But to work on the music for that, need a few chords. Like this one here that keeps falling. Need a couple of chords. Can I get a Final Four? Lord have mercy. And God goodness, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes crew at the Church of Last Resort. Keep them healthy. And, of course, as always, may my sermon not keep them awake so that they can get some rest, because they are heavy and plentiful doing your work. So, yeah. Amen. Amen. They get up early for this, and for what? As we always say, get up early and for what? Can I get an answer for that, Lord? Woo! Yeah. And finally, minddogtv.com, the place to go to get your church. That's it. That's why I needed this thing. Your church. Yeah. We got your beautiful shirts here, and we got your mugs here. Look at that mug. That mug and that mug. What can I tell you? Look at this mug and that mug. Beautiful mugs. But only this mug is for sale. This mug, not for sale, because Emancipation Proclamation. But you can get my likeness on this shirt here, or on this mug here, or on other things. Or you could go to the Mind Dog TV and get something that doesn't have my face on it. I don't know why the fuck you would, but like this. This just says minddogtv.com. Look right there. Actually, it doesn't say .com. You have to pay extra for the .com, but you can get the Mind Dog TV right there. See, and you can be just like me. The millions and millions of people who've already bought this mug and they're drinking beautiful things out of it right now as we speak. So, but my mug, which is this one here, with my face on it, is empty right now, but that's okay, because it's filled with hope and it's filled with the brackets. So don't forget to fill out your Mind Dog TV madness brackets while you're there. The official brackets for Mind Dog TV. When you go to the site, you fill it out, all 64, and plus the play-in. You got your play-in guests. So all 64 and the play-ins, and fill that in, and because you want to fill it in before the deadline, which is tomorrow, Monday at noon. If you don't have it in by Monday at noon, there's no way we're going to honor your bracket should you win at the end of the tournament. There's no way. So you try to get there now. Get it there as early as you can. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not one of God's good ones, one of God's children, your bracket's gonna get busted. Because if you listen in the first prayer, the second prayer right there, it says, bust the brackets of your enemies and bless the bracket of your favorite servant. That's what I'm saying. And that's scripture right there. That's scripture. That is holy scripture. It says right there in the Bible, I will bust your bracket if you are my enemy. If you're my enemy, I'll bust your bracket. And you can tell every year this time, well, not at this time because it's too soon. Brackets don't get busted until like the end of the first or second game, usually. Some brackets don't get busted till like the Final Four. But if you are one of God's enemies, your brackets will be busted. And matter of fact, you already know if you're one of his enemies, so you might as well not even put in a bracket, because if it costs you money, you're gonna lose your money because the enemies are gonna brackets are busted. Brackets are busted in the back. I don't even have enough B words, but I like the way it sounds. Your brackets get busted if you're one of the enemies of that. If you're one of the enemies, that's right. I need more B words. And I'm gonna work on that so that by the end of the day or end of the week, I'll have like a whole string of B words that I'll just be able to rattle off, and I'll sound like I knew what I was doing the whole time. But what can I tell you? So and so right now, Lord, this is for you. All bump and no coffee. For the Lord. For the Lord and for my throat. You think it's easy having a voice sound this pretty every day? It's not. It's not at all. It's not easy. It's the kind of thing that takes practice and liquor. Practice and liquor. Practice and liquor. So, in the name of the George Carlin, the Robin Williams, and the Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! Now, I want to discuss a couple of things this morning. I'm sorry, I made a mistake there already. I'm messing up. It's not a couple of things. Words should have meaning, okay? Words should have meaning. And I screwed up because I said a couple of things, but I think there's three things I want to discuss. And so, and the word couple had it. All right. I am going to go off track a little bit. I know that you're not used to that. You're not used to me going off track, but that's okay. You want maybe you can roll with it just this once. Roll with it. Okay. So, I just said just now that I had a couple of things that I wanted to discuss. All right. And traditionally, a couple is two. All right. And people say this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you right now. What I'm discussing are words that have value in quantity. All right. And these words are called quantonyms. All right. You can look them up. It's a quantonym. It's a word, see, word that have quantity or value. You see? And so like couple is two. All right. Someone says, may I have a couple of potato chips? That means two. All right. But let's say they say, can I have a potato chip? All right. Well, guess what that is? That's one. All right. And I'm gonna tell you how. I'll tell you how I know what that means. How I know that later. All right. But if someone says a few, all right, a few is three. All right. I say, well, how do you know that? Trust me, I know. All right. And then there's some. Okay. A sum is 4 to 6. This is one of the few. This is one of the words that has range. Okay. It's got a range. Sum is 4 to 6. All right. Then you got don't tell me shit. Oh, okay. Now you got many. Well, I take the nope. That's not the one I wanted. It's not many. Many is not next. Next, after some is bunch. Now, some of you is bunch, and a bunch is 7 or more. Okay, 7 or more up to, okay. If I'm going to say it that way, it's 7. A bunch is 7 to 19. Okay, 7 to 19 is a bunch. And then you got plenty, which is 20. All right. Now, the reason why I stopped at 20, and everybody knows this, as a matter of fact, you'll see this on television. On television, most things, or even when there's multiple, even if something is over $20, they don't tell you that. They break it down to payments. So like if they look at you and say, you could have this coffee bean or this beans of coffee for it's $400. They don't say it's $400. They say it's 20 easy payments of $19.95. That's what they do. And 20 is a magic number. It's not 3. I know the song says 3 is a magic number, but it's not. It's 20. 20 is the magic number. And you see it in commercials and in retail, and that's why 20 is the limit. All right. But bunch, that's the tricky one. That's the trickiest one of all, because you have competing theories about what something is. So for example, the movie The Wild Bunch. All right. I need to look that up. I don't know how many is in there. Okay, but it says right there, The Wild Bunch. And if I look up the movie, I can find out how many is in that bunch. But then you got the Brady Bunch. Okay, there's 9 of them in there. All right, and see, this is why the number changed. Bunch used to have a definitive number. Bunch used to be 7. That's it. All right, and what started the confusion was the banana splits. They started it. Because before that, bunch meant 7. That's it. And then they had a song that was so fucking popular. It was like the most popular song in the world. It goes like 1 banana, 2 bananas, 3 bananas, 4. 5 bananas make a bunch, and so do many more. And the problem is that wasn't true. 5 comes under some. Okay? And because of that song screwed up quantums forever. Okay, so all of that quantum theory just went out the door because of one song. But music is a powerful thing. But anyway, that's I just want to explain that. So when I said earlier that I had a couple of things I want to talk to you about, I meant a few things. And by a few, I meant 3. And if I go above that, I will adjust that later. But so I apologize for getting off on the wrong foot. It's a good back, the wrong foot. It's a good foot. Oh, good God. That's good foot and the bad back. All right, sorry. Damn. I'm going to erase this now because if I wait too long, the ink dries and it does not erase well. Even though this is an erase board, this doesn't remain erased ink. And you can scrub the board all you want to at that point, and the ink is not going to come off. See, and that's if you've ever been to a place where they have a whiteboard and you still see the letters, because they waited too long. They said, oh, it'll come off. No, it don't come off. You wait too long, this shit is permanent, even if it doesn't say permanent. See, it don't say permanent, but it will become permanent. You know, it's like having a water-resistant watch. They say, well, back in the day, they used to say waterproof, but they weren't waterproof, and they had to change that shit to water-resistant, because it turns out they would say when they tested the watch, it was only tested to like 20 feet. And they say, oh, look, in 20 feet, the watch works fine. But at 100 feet, it leaks. And they would just assume that people were going to take their watch off after 20 feet and their watch would be waterproof. But that's not how that works. People aren't like that. People don't go swimming and go, oh, I'm at 19 feet. Let me stop. They should, but swimming is not the same as money. So there, wait a minute. I lost my notes. Oh, there they are. So the first thing I want to talk about is the St. Patty's Day. Again, not to be confused with the St. Panty's Day, which was last month on the 14th. St. Patty's Day, it's one of our ethnic holidays. Our country has a number of ethnic holidays that were only I shouldn't say only, primarily they're celebrated by people of a particular ethnicity, hence ethnic holiday. Now, the biggest, I mean, they have them all. They're ethnic holidays all over the world. But in the U.S., the main ones are the ones that have alcohol attached to them. Okay, so St. Patrick's Day has the beer and the green attached to it, and so that is a major holiday, a major ethnic holiday. You have um, Cinco de Mayo, which is a major ethnic holiday. That's in May, hence Mayo, not Angelo, but month, Spanish. Cinco de Mayo. Again, alcohol has attached to that holiday, and therefore it is a big effing deal. Okay, so the holidays that have alcohol attached to them are the ones that really matter as far as ethnicity goes. Can you name a Muslim holiday? Everybody knows Ramadan. They know the word Ramadan. Do you know when it is? I didn't think so. You know those words. You know they're Muslim holidays. You don't know when they are. You just know their names. You know why? Muslims do not drink. Therefore, they cannot have a drinking holiday. Therefore, nobody gives a shit. If somebody said to you a year from now or a year before St. Patrick's Day, everybody says March 17th. Everybody knows when that is. If somebody said, when is Cinco de Mayo? Everybody knows that's Cinco de Mayo. All right? By another ethnic holiday, July 4th, Independence Day. Everybody knows it's July 4th. That's a drinking holiday to celebrate whiteness. Okay, it's got alcohol attached, so everybody knows when that is. Everybody knows Independence Day is July 4th because it has alcohol attached to it. That's what I'm talking about. So if you want your ethnic holidays to be popular and to be celebrated, you need to attach alcohol to them. Now, and I say this because this is how we're going to bring our world together. It's through alcohol. I know there's AA and people who have trouble with alcohol, and there's a place for you in this society. It's called designated driver, okay? But when it comes to getting to know people, nothing lets you get to know people like alcohol. Nothing. Now, some of you have heard this sermon before, and I say this sermon every ethnic holiday, Sorry, I was speaking in tongues. Sometimes the Lord blesses me like that, and I speak in tongues. And maybe the Lord will bless you too. For 1995, you make your check out to the Church of Last Resort. The Lord can bless you, and you too can speak in tongues. Or you can take that 1995 and spend it on liquor. And if the liquor's good enough, you'll sound like you're speaking in tongues. And other people around you who've been drinking in tongues will understand you. So, yeah. I'm talking about the drinking and why it's important that we get together and get to know each other. Okay? What we know for a scientific fact, a proven fact, is that the world is full of racists and sexists and homophobes and people who hate people for no fucking good reason. That's what they do. They're people. That's what people do. People hate. But you know who people love? Right on down the line. Everybody loves their drinking buddies. Everybody. I'm saying everybody. And it doesn't matter what that drinking buddy is. That's the beauty of it. I had a friend of mine who was a big fucking racist. I mean, a big fucking racist. We worked together. And the only reason why he tolerated me was because HR said he had to. All right? And that was it. And then we went out to celebrate somebody's retirement. And we got to drinking. And next thing you know, I was his best fucking friend. And some other racist wanted to pick a fight with me. And he says, "Don't you touch my coon." He had my back because now we're drinking buddies. Everybody loves their drinking buddies. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if the drinking buddy is a man or a woman, a straight or gay, black or white, in Native American, red, Chinese, you pick a race, it doesn't matter. Pick a gender, it don't matter. Once you become a drinking buddy, that's a bond stronger than blood. The only way you get somebody be a stronger bond than drinking buddy, maybe military. Maybe. And I'm saying maybe military. And the only reason why I'm saying maybe is because most of the military people are drinking buddies. And that's what I think the bond is. I don't think it's war. I don't think it's war. There are guys who were in the military and never saw one bullet being fired outside of the practice range. But they get out of the military and they're sticking with their drinking buddies. That's what I'm talking about, drinking buddies. That's why we all need to drink. That's the beauty of St. Paddy's Day. It's nothing to do with the Irish. You know, I don't give a shit about the Irish. But you know what I care about? I care about you. Don't matter what you call yourself. You could be Irish. You could be Scottish. Most people can't tell the fucking difference. Matter of fact, those two are so confusing. The Scottish don't even have a holiday. They just hop on in with the Irish and use the same little dialect. And with the exception of a few things like O'Malley and McFerrin, nobody knows, okay? Nobody knows. But you get that, where's that drinking thing? Here, right there. You get this, and everybody's your friend, the drinking buddy. That's what's the beautiful thing about it. The drinking buddy. That's how we get rid of the hate. That's how we get rid of the anger. That's how we get rid of the war, okay? Now, this month is designated as Women's Month. Have you, in the past 17 days, thought more of a woman than you did 17 days prior to that? Nope. This whole fucking month is wasted. That's right. We don't need a whole month to show our appreciation for women. If you want to honor them, you do it with one day, a drinking holiday, and then we will honor women. We'll get out together, and it's special because it comes around once a year and not for 31 days. It's one day, and that one day you get to take a woman out for drinks and no expectations. We're just drinking buddies. That's it. We're just drinking buddies. You're not getting her drunk to have sex. Side bonus, not saying no. Wouldn't say no if she said yes. But what I'm saying is, maybe. But you take her for drinks and say, you're a woman and I appreciate you. Here's a drink or two. And don't slip nothing in the drinks. That's dishonest. You wouldn't do that to an Irish man. If you were having drinks with an Irish man, let's say on St. Patrick's Day, you wouldn't sit here and put a thing in his drink to get him all wasted and have your way with him, would you? No, that's not equal. The whole point of this is to be equal. And if you're not doing that to the Irish and the Hispanics and the Mexicans and Latinos and Latinas and Latins, then don't do it to the women. Treat them equal. That's the whole point of having a drinking buddy. Drinking buddies are all equal. We say the same dirty jokes to their faces like we would everybody else. And we say the same racial epithets and sex things because they're equals. All right? That's what we do. Equality. Equality through alcohol. Proof that alcohol works. That's right. Proof that alcohol works. So, now women, if we're going to have a designated day, you're going to need to designate a day. All right. Now, I was discussing this with my wife, Mona, and Mona, every time we discuss this, she says, the woman's day should be the day she celebrated on the day she gets divorced, which gets a good laugh in the pews, pew 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 pew. But it's not practical because not all women get divorced on the same day, and not all women get divorced, and not all women get married some women are lucky. They don't get divorced. They get widowed. But that's beside the point. So you can't have it like that. But what you can do is you can celebrate it like a President's Day is one day, but it's for all the presidents, okay? And you got the Veterans Day, which is the one day for all of the veterans. You got the Labor Day, that is one day for all the babies that were born. That's what I'm talking about. And so the same thing with Women's Day. It'll be one day for all the women. Now, when do you celebrate that? That's why I'm talking about it today. I could have talked about it any point in this month. I could have talked about it last week on the 10th, or the week before that on the 3rd, or I could have waited till the 24th or the 31st and talked about it then. But I'm talking about it today because March Madness starts next week. That's when Women's Day should start. Women's Day should be on the first day of March Madness every year. And the reason being is men are going to ignore, men that are in, quote, relationships are going to be ignoring their women for the next 2 weeks or so, or as long as their bracket holds up. So if the woman needs her independence from that man and she wants to get away from him, she can pack her bags and sneak out during the first game of March of the NCAA tournament. He won't even be gone, won't even miss her. And as long as his bracket is good, her escape is better. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to miss her. Now, and then if his bracket busts, I mean, if he's like really bad, if his bracket busts, like say the first game, you shouldn't have been with him anyway. What kind of stupid fool would have picked him? I don't know what the teams are, so I can't intelligently speak about the actual teams. But sometimes some people pick their brackets based on mascots or lucky numbers or colors or places or people or races, you know, and people who bet like brackets like that, it's stupid. That's insane. You pick a bracket based on that team's atomic weight. Everybody knows that's science. And if I had the time, which I don't because I only have about 27 minutes left in this program, and it takes 29 minutes to explain the atomic weight of a basketball team. That's science. It's just, you cannot shorten that conversation. That's how long it takes. It takes 29 minutes. I know there are conspiracy theorists who say, no, you only need 24 minutes. That's bullshit, okay? They're lying to you. It takes 29 minutes, and I don't have that kind of time. Maybe some other time I could explain the atomic weight of basketball teams, but that's just, I can't do it today. Not enough time. Wouldn't do it justice. So if their bracket is busted that early, they're a loser anyway. You shouldn't have been with them, or she shouldn't have been with him. Okay, so that's when Women's Day should be. That's how you can tell the men who want to be with a woman from the men who don't. The men who want to be with the women on Women's Day, the first day of the NCAA tournament, will not be watching the tournament. They will be out buying drinks for women. See? That is the first sign that you have a good man, that he chose you over the sport. That's right. See, ladies, you thought, wait a minute, what does the Reverend know about women? He's married. What the hell does he know about women? I'm going to tell you now. I've been with the same woman for 20 years. And I've technically been with the same woman for 50, no, not 50, 40 years, if you count the other two wives. Yeah, If you count the other 2 wives, then I've been with the same woman for 40 years. But let's just keep the math simple and say, count the 1. No, you carry the 1. See, you got the 1, 2, 3, you carry the 1. Yeah, so 20 years. That's what I know about women. So, first day of March Madness, ladies, go with the man who will be with you and buy you a drink over the man who will forget about you for the duration of his bracket. So, that man, the one who neglects you, probably don't appreciate you anyway. And I mean, there's for different reasons. Some people have mother issues. No, they see the woman that they're dating as their mother, which is kind of peculiar. Again, it's a real thing, though. Pardon me. That's good stuff. That's my chaser. That's just water with ice cubes. That's a chaser. But a lot of men have the issues with the women, and it's like I said, some of it's the mother problem. Some of it's because of the way the daddy treated the women. And then some men have problems treating women right because of the Bible. And the people use the Bible to blame women for a lot of shit, or blame a lot of shit on a lot of people misuse the Bible all the time. Okay, all the time. As a matter of fact, my Bible gets sick of it. It's like, I'm tired of you blaming shit on me that has nothing to do with me. We have this discussion all the time. We have a few drinks, open up my Bible, and we have this discussion. But the main issue with men that the Bible thumpers have with women, the ones that use the Bible to not appreciate women, is in Genesis. I think now I don't quote the Bible very often. I don't memorize the Bible. I don't, because to me it's funny. And some of you are going to laugh, and some of you are going to say he's going to hell. We'll see who's who. Just a second. I'm sorry. I can't drop things on the floor and not pick them up. It's crazy. I know. Now, see, I have read the Bible cover to cover, I think 4 times. I'm not bragging. I think the first time it was the summer between first grade, kindergarten and first grade. And I was learning to read, and I just moved to a new house, and I didn't have any new friends. I didn't know how to make friends. I was a very awkward child. So I was just reading books all the time, and the Bible was one of them. That's the first time I read it through. And when I read it then, everything I saw in print, I took literally. Okay, I mean, everything, and I say this, and when I say literally, I mean literally, not like some people go like, there were literally 4 million people at the concert. No, there weren't. They're misusing the word literally. When I say I took the Bible literally, I mean what I read is what I believed. But I believed everything I saw in print because for some odd reason, when I was a child, I thought if somebody took the time to put it in print, it must be true. So those of you who are smart, they said, wait a second, Reverend, didn't you read comic books? Yes, I did. Did you think they were real? Yes, I did. Did your father think you were stupid? Yes, he did. That's just a fact of life. That's how I thought back then. But you get older and a little bit smarter and you realize there's nuances. And so not all those words and not all books are meant to be taken literally. The second time I read the Bible cover to cover, I was in my early 20s. No, it was teens. And the third time was early 20s. And the last time I read it cover to cover was when I was studying to be a minister. And that was totally different. The first time I read it because I couldn't help myself. It was a book and I just read it. The second and third times I read it as a believer. Totally different. The last time I read it as a student. That's a mind fuck right there. When you take out religion and you look at the book as a student. I'm saying this because there are people who use the book as a way to oppress people. And right now we're going to talk about the oppression of women. And they started that shit with Genesis 2:17. Thank you. Genesis 2:17. And now I cannot quote it. And I could have looked it up. I should have looked it up. But basically, let's see, Genesis 2:17 is when God pretty much says to Adam and Eve, you can eat everything or anything you want. There's no carbs, there's no cholesterol, no fat, no trans fats. You eat whatever the hell you want, don't matter. No body shaming here. But you cannot eat from that tree there. That is the tree of knowledge. Can't have that shit. Can't have you having knowledge. Can't have it. Because then you know shit like I know. And you can't have that. And then from that point, people get a little bit crazy. Because then they say, Eve took the apple and she ate it. Well, no, first of all, it wasn't an apple. It was not an apple. And people go like, that's right. They didn't have apples over there. It was probably a pomegranate. It was a pomegranate. Nope. Was not a pomegranate. See, people are basing that kind of shit on artwork. And they see the artwork and they go like, oh, look, it's an image. It must be real. Somebody took the time to paint that little red fruit in their hand. It must be real. No, that's not what happened. Use common sense. I know somebody says, wait a minute, you can't apply common sense to the Bible. What's the good book say about that? Good book says, you can't apply common sense to the Bible. Thank you. Thank you, good book. Thank you. You do that, you hurt your brain and you hurt your faith. If you put any faith in the book, you can't use common sense. You have to spell your common sense. If your faith is based on that book, you have to dispel common sense. Same with the Quran and all the other books. If that's where you place your faith in those books, you got to dispel your common sense. So, was not an apple, was not a pomegranate. Use common sense. Eve and Adam eat the fruit. They say, whoa, we're naked. And what do? They cover themselves with fig leaves. Why? Probably because it was the closest leaf to them, which means they were probably standing at a fig tree when they ate the fruit. What kind of fruit would be on a fig tree? Common sense says figs. It's probably a fig. Now, everybody said, wait a minute, how can eating a fig give you knowledge? Well, we know it gives you rhythm. And that, I mean, if you go back to the documentary, the Big Fig Newton commercial. It's got the ooey gooey chewy center inside, flaky, cakey, crumbly thing outside. You wrap the inside in the outside. Is it good? Darn tootin'. It's the Big Fig Newton. That's what I say. The Big Fig Newton. Here's the tricky part. The Big Fig Newton. They would not have written that song about just any fruit. Okay? That's like a psalm. The Psalms are written to celebrate important events in biblical history. So there are no songs like that about the apple, about the pomegranate, about the olives. No, not about the grapes. Now, true, the Raisinets had a nice song, but it's not as powerful as the Fig Newton song. I want to, let me repeat that. It is not as powerful as the Big Fig Newton song. So, common sense. And speaking of common sense, obviously, she wasn't talking to a snake in the garden, okay, if you believe in that anyway. It was a serpent, right? Which means it had legs. Snakes do not have legs. God had already made the snakes and the creepy things that crawl on their bellies. They had already been created, all right? So, and I say this because if it were a snake, God would not have had to curse it at the end of this whole charade by saying, you are cursed to crawl on your belly. Because if it was a snake, he was already crawling on his belly. He had nothing to lose. It's like, no wonder he was talking shit. It's like, what's he going to do? Take away my legs? I ain't got legs. You be threatening with me. Threaten me with something real. Tell me you want to just give me one leg. So I'm like this. Yeah, threaten me like that. But don't threaten to take away something I ain't got. So the Lord says, you're going to be crawling on your belly, which means he had legs. And it probably had an even pair. That's what I'm saying. Probably had an even set of legs, like 2 to 4 or 6, you know. But because there's no pictures of the serpent, we don't know how many. I'm just saying, because if it was an odd number, then it probably was going in circles anyway because of, you know, momentum. And that would have been a blessing to have the legs taken off anyway. You'd rather slither straight than just walk around in a circle all day. Okay. And that's the case. You might as well be that little kid who goes, Mommy, I am tired of running around in circles. And she says to him, boy, shut up before I nail your other foot to the floor. Boom. All right. So, yeah, the serpent probably had an even number of legs. So, the serpent was not a snake. That's what I'm talking about when I say apply. If you apply common sense to the Bible and you're a believer, you're going to get a headache. You can't do that. If you have common sense and faith, you're going to hurt yourself when you think about it. Every time, because if you're a person of faith, every time you open that book, you're going to need to believe what you read. And when you need to believe what you read, you're going to need to justify what you read. And if it don't make sense, you're going to start believing crazy shit like it's slavery or oppressing people, because you need to twist that logic to fit that book, because that book is important to you. I'm telling you now, what's important is not what's in that book. What's important is what is in your heart. And if it's in your heart to treat people decent, God bless you. And if you need alcohol to do it, I'm fine with that. And if you need a drinking holiday, one for every oppressed group on this planet, I'm fine with that, because we have 365 days. And there's no reason why we can't use those days wisely, because we do not know how many days we have to share on this earth. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be even get through the day. But if I can have a drink with somebody and share and make another friend, that's a day well spent. So I say to everybody, make a friend over alcohol, unless you can't, for whatever reason, be it religious, like the Muslims, or be it a disease, like the alcoholics. If you cannot partake of the liquor, you can be a designated driver. And drivers are also very trusted, because they get behind the wheel, and the first thing, in order to be trusted, is you tell them where you live. You say, excuse me, I'm obviously too inebriated to drive myself home. Will you please take me to 4005 Airedale Avenue? And the guy goes, sure. Now I know where you live, and I know where you drink. You can trust me not to go into your home when I see you go there. Sure. Trust me. I'm your designated driver. See, that's what I'm talking about. Trust. Some of you, 4 of you, I don't know how many it is, 9 of you. Here's the deal. The world needs to be a better place for everybody. And the one thing that we can make things, the one things we can do to make things better is to appreciate each other. And the best way to do that is through the drink, okay? To get to know each other. I mean, some of the secrets, that's the other thing, mutual destruction, okay? You get to drinking, I tell you a deep, dark secret, you tell me a deep, dark secret, and now we're both mutually, we know we can't be putting that shit out there because each one can destroy the other. You know what I'm saying? That's the other beautiful thing. And it's like, you be talking, and that's how you find shit out. That's how you get to appreciate people. That's how I found out I was an accident. Okay, that's how I found out I was not meant to here to be. My mom was drinking and with her friends, and I was in the room because she couldn't trust me with the designated driver, not yet, and just blurted it out. That right over there, that's my accident. My miracle baby. Everything I tried, guess what? Didn't work. He was stillborn anyway. Not stillborn. That doesn't sound right, does it? I wasn't stillborn. I was sick, but I wasn't stillborn. So when she says that he was stillborn anyway, that means he was born. I was born alive, still, not stillborn. That's people who've been through that know that's not exactly a humorous thing, although they may laugh about it later. And maybe not. I don't know. I've never been through that. And there's somebody out there right now going, "You're a sick fuck to make fun of things like that." No, I'm not making fun of that. I'm just making an observation. If I was making fun of that, I've already would have written like 3 or 4 punchlines, which I did not. See, that's respect and control. Because I got 3 or 4 punchlines. I'm just not using them until I get around people that I know it's safe. Or drinking. Again, mutual destruction. So, brothers and sisters, this St. Patty's Day, which is today, not last night, if you're going out drinking, be kind, be thoughtful. In other words, don't be yourself and don't be Irish, okay? For God's sake, just, maintain a few drinks, have a good time. Fill out your Mind Dog TV bracket, and set aside some money to buy a woman a drink on the first day of March Madness. Okay? Don't blow all your money today. Save some of your money. Unless you're one of those losers who's going to be watching the NCAA while your woman sneaks out and leaves you. Now, some of you men are going to be watching. You don't have any women. Some of it's probably because you put the game first and you lost them last year. Some of it's going to be because you ugly as fuck, or maybe just mean as fuck, or you just don't want the woman in your life, which I'm not judging. No, not everybody can be as fortunate as me and have a wonderful. She's in the next room. A wonderful wife like I have. She's working this morning. She's got things to do in the office, and so her office is like right next to mine, right there. Her office right here is like my office stops here, and if you go on the back side of the line, scratch it here, her office right on the other side of that, right there. Hear that? Leg, you get that leg going when you scratch that ear. Her office right on the other side, right over there. So now this is I want to promote a live show that I have coming up, but I don't have the website. The link to buy tickets is not up yet, and I do not want to promote the show until I see that link, because I don't want people saying, I want to buy a ticket, and then go to the link and it's not up and running, and the venue hasn't put that up yet. I don't, And then people are like, he's trying to sell tickets to shit he ain't got. And then it looked like a liar. It's like, he doesn't even have a real show. He's delusional. He's been drinking with those Irish people. But I do have a show coming up. And I say, the reason why I'm promoting is because the shows that when I say we, I mean when I perform live, it is totally different than what you see here, because here is meant to be interactive, but I don't know how to interact like with the peoples. But when it's live, we're grabbing people out the audience, we're healing people out the audience, and we're playing games with them. See, and so I can't do that here, because like the games I would play, or for example, I'm gonna try this, see if it works. First of all, I don't see anybody. I can't read the context of things, so that doesn't work. But I might play. You've heard of the game Hangman? Okay, this game is called Hungman. So I would say here's a 4-letter word, and I'll say you go ahead, guess the letter. Now I'm going to help you out here, and I'm going to tell you the word is Navy, just to help you out, so you have a clue. Okay, just so you know, just so you understand how the game works. I'll say the word is Navy, but you don't know that, and you guess. And let's say you guess P, and I go like nope, no P. Okay, and then you go R. No, it's like nope, no R. And then you go Q, and I go nope, no Q. Okay, and then you say an E, and I go oh, nope, no E. Then you go A, and I go okay, yes, there's an A right there. And then you go A, how about F? Nope, no S. All right, and then they go like T. No, no T. Okay. Y. Yeah, there's a Y. Okay. And you go the last letter, and they go like C. Nope, no C. And there we go. And this is Hungman right there. Okay. That's Hungman right there. And that's how you play Hungman. All right. You do that man there until he's hung. And he's not hung until you make the 5th guess. So that's how you play Hungman. Totally different game, okay? But we do it live, and you're doing it for your blessing. You know, you confess your sin, and if you want your sin forgiven, you have to win one of the games, okay? That's Hungman. Can't do that here because if you were guessing along, I can't see and have no way of knowing, and then I wouldn't know which one person was guessing anyway. So that's why it doesn't work out like that. But when the show is available, when tickets are available, I will let you know how you can see that show and other shows once I get back on the road. So before I end the day, before I close, I want to thank you all for watching, and thank you all who have subscribed to the YouTube channel, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Rolle. I thank you. You people mean the world to me. So, on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Rolle family, my wife Amona, my kids Cinnamon, Jelly Jr., and our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping Roll, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week, the same time, the same place, at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. Spread the word. If you like it, tell your friends. Invite your friends. Matter of fact, next week, have a sleepover, okay? And then wake up together, all in the same room, and no, because that only gives me one view. All right, forget that, because I want more views. So get separate rooms. Oh, you can have the sleepover, and you all have your phones together. That way, you can watch it together, but you all watch it on your own phones That way I get more views. That's how that works. Lord have mercy. I'm a fucking genius. I'm a fucking genius. You get to have a sleepover and I don't lose any numbers and I don't lose any sleep over it. That's thank God. So let us end in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!